Alright, so now we are ready for part two, I guess. I had a little interruption before. But yeah, anyway, so when about Snork Maiden. Yes, so a common criticism I hear people say is that, well, she doesn't really do much. She's just kind of this damsel in distress that Moomin Troll has to save sometimes. When in actuality, she is actually a bit deeper than that. Not a lot, but I think there is more to her than people think. And for one thing, in the first book she appears in, Common in Moominland, she actually saves Moomin Troll's life just a few moments after he has saved hers. And that was also a really great scene, showed her that she really could fight when she needed to. But not only that, she is actually quite useful in other ways. She's a good cook, she's really caring towards other people, and she, has some more layers to her affection towards others. It can also be done in a bad way, like in Moves the Riviera, where I think she's a little bit too vain and maybe a little bit sexualized. But anyways, otherwise, I think people should give her a little more attention to that thing, because I don't know what they're fucking talking about when they're just saying what they think they know about her. But yeah. So that's Snork Maiden. She's pretty good. I think a bit not the best girl character in the show in the series, but I think she has more than you could give credit for. Plus, I always just thought she was so cute. That angle, the bangle she had around her, and that the hair she had, that was really charming for her, and I still like it to this day. Anyways, now for easily the greatest character in all of Moomin, Snufkin. Everybody knows him, and they know how incredible he is. He is just what makes this series even better, in my opinion. You know, there's just really something about Snuffin's character that I just adore. He's actually just one of my favorite characters of all time, actually, because he's I love mentors, philosophical guys, or and really wise guys. Those are some of my favorite character types, and he just excels at that. He's always really smart. He's also very caring, and really likes to be around others, even though he also wants to be lonely. He always travels during the winter, but he also has time to be with Moomin, and he's actually kind of complex because there's more sides to him. You never know how he's going to be like, because he can also sometimes do wrong things, but that's just how he is, and he's really embodies freedom more than anything else. He really just does what he wants to do. He travels where he wants to be, but he always seems to be with the right amount of people and the ones he loves, and that's just really great. He's unique, and I love him as a character. Easily the best character in Moving by far. And now here's Stinky. Well, I'll say this much. Um, I think he's probably in the no. He's just okay. Um, Actually, a little bit better than Mimble, since he's appeared more often, mainly in the comics, but also in the anime quite a lot. Um, and he's kind of the bad guy, as I guess you could say in this series, because he does some crimes and such. But he's not really, I would say, a main villain or something. There's not really a villain in this series. There's just people doing wrong things, as you could see. But yeah, he's probably the closest to, I guess, a villain. Even though he sometimes also is good. I mean, he's also sympathetic, so it's hard to say he's a villain. But anyways, well, while I don't really particularly love or really like him that much, at least he's not really horrible. But yeah, he just do some schemes. I guess he's a bit quirky and a bit funny, but he's not really that much. I think I never really got a lot out of him, but he's just okay. So let's just leave it at that. Now here's the most terrifying of them all, Muron, or the Grog, as he is called mainly in English, and he deserves to be in good, because there's just really something about the Grog that everyone who has ever watched Moomin immediately identifies with. But at the same time, it's also probably the scariest creature in all of Moomin. Everyone, and I repeat, everyone who saw this as a kid, especially if you're in the European or in the Scandinavian areas, dreaded to actually meet this character in real life if they saw it, because she's terrifying. The first time they see her and hear about her, there's just so much build up to this character, and it's just amazing. And when they reveal it, it's something like out of a horror flick. Actually, it still kind of terrifies me to this day. And but at the same time, there's also again a lot more depth to this character, because in ways it also shows kind of how to be more polite towards even the strangest of times. That just less something that about people talk about, that she actually should be a lot more appreciated and taken in towards people, and that's just again perfect, because it's an unpredictability about her that's really interesting. You never know if she's really bad or if she's actually good. Just know that people are terrified of her because of her looks, but deep within, she might actually be a good creature. Wouldn't really call her a person, but a good creature, though you never really know. But yeah, and that is also just an iconic appearance, and her freezing powers are good, so I'd say it's in a good category. And now here's the hemulen. I'd say he is in the okay, but probably the best of the. Oh no, actually, he's, yeah, probably in the good, I'd say. Um, Maybe not as good as Nini, but yeah, he's also in the good category. You do see him quite a bit, and yeah, he's just really a charming old man. Like, he has this stamp collecting thing, which turns out to be flowers later, after coming to Moonland, and he's quite charming. It's not like he has a lot of doings there, but there's just something about him that you really want to admire when he talks about his stamp collection, and that's fine. Um, but yeah, um, he's also he also has his funny moments in Common Moonlight that I really like. Actually, a lot of characters here are quite funny. But yeah, I'd say he is definitely good. Again, not a lot much to him, but he does have his arcs, and yeah, again, just a character you can't really say is really that bad. Um, so I'd say yeah, he's good. The Hobgoblin. Well, he's kind of interesting. He doesn't really appear a lot, but again, he's a kind of this mythical being that's talked about more than he's actually seen. But for what it is, I'd say he's probably in the best of the okay, because again, there isn't really a lot to her. He is basically just this typical wizard dude, which is cool. It is a fantasy series, so, and there are also dragons and spells and such, so it makes sense. Um, he does a few things and then he leaves. He just wants, the uh, the the ruby that the king's ruby that I think Gummy Bob will get to later has, and he of course grants some wishes, and that's fine. It's not really something amazing compared to other fictional wizards like Gandalf and such, but he's he does his things, and that's fine. So yeah, that's it. Um, uh, okay, Lisa's grandmother, I think she's just in the worst. There's really not a lot to her. Really none of at all in terms of character. She's just this grandmother who wants to protect her child so much, but or grandchild so much, and she wants her to become a witch and such. I understand that, but let the freaking girl have some freedom, at least. And yeah, again, just yeah, really traditional witch, and that's about it. Not a lot to her than that, and not very memorable, not very funny, not very, yeah. There's not a lot to her, not really even enjoyable. So yeah, she's probably the worst of the worst, I think. Now here's the jockster. Um, Actually, I also think he's bad, because he's basically, yeah, he's Snufkin's father, but he's just kind of a really watered down version of Snufkin in a lot of ways. He doesn't really do a lot interesting, and yeah, he was of course Moomin Papa's childhood friend, which is kind of cool. But again, for someone that is freaking Snufkin's father, he's one of the best characters in the show. It's He really falls short in terms of expectations, and that's just really, yeah, disappointing, because I really even don't even remember her line about him. Yeah, I mean, it's cool that he's, you know, the wife of Mimble's mom, but that's about it, really. I don't know why there are so many memes about him because it's just there. Well, whatever. Now I think Gummy and Bob. Um, I would say they probably deserve to be in maybe between Snow and Lisa. No, maybe just there, but they're definitely better than Stinky and Mimble. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, okay, wait. No, they're fine. Think of me about, yeah, they mainly have that arc in Finn Family Moomin Troll book where they you know, are the guardians of the suitcase with the ruby's diamond in, and yeah, that's fine. They have that funny thing with, you know, they say their words in a bit of a funny way. There's some letters they don't mention and then they replace it with others. That's kind of a neat, funny thing, I think. Charming thing also, and it's just really adorable. I really like that, and you know, you just want them to succeed in what they do. It's not like they do a lot, but they're good. They're at least not in the bad and worst category. So I'd give them that. Cute and adorable. Fine enough. And the last one, Tiki. Again, a person you don't really see that much. And to be honest, I don't really know where to rank him. Perhaps a little better than Mimple, I'd say. It's a lot in the okay category. Um, he, well, it's mainly in the winter episodes, I think he's mentioned. And for what it is, he's kind of like the winter Snufkin, one that they want to see. He also fishes like Snufkin does, even though Snufkin has a freaking harmonica. I love that. I love when Snufkin just pulls out of his harmonica and plays. That's just amazing. And he plays some great songs. But yeah, Tiki, yeah, again, maybe a little, not as watered down as Jockster, but a bit just a watered down Snufkin, I think. Um, Not really a lot about him, but he's fine. He's nice, and you know, someone that Moomin and Lil Mike can visit in the winter. That's cool. Literally cool. Ah, fuck it. But yeah, um, there's just not a lot to him though. Um, so I'll just leave it at that. And with that, that's my Moomin Characters Tier list. Hope you enjoyed, and yeah, I really had a lot of fun doing this because, as you can see, there are a lot that's okay and some are pretty shit, but there's generally a lot of good characters here, and some I absolutely adore, in fact, like these. And all in all, I really recommend you just watching some of the Moomin's episodes, mainly from the 90s series. The new Moomin Valley series is just okay in my opinion, but the 90s series was and still is amazing. Please give it a watch. I guarantee you will find a bit of your inner child in it, and it's just a really fun time. Plus, also watch the movie Coming in Moomin Land. It's also amazing, from 1992. Yeah, but that's about it. See you next time.